Think back a really long time ago. If one village somehow grew a ton of extra apples and another made some seriously warm wool, they had to figure out a way to swap all that. Carrying stuff by hand, completely exhausting. Horse carts couldn't hold much weight at all. But then, people looked out at the wide rivers and saw this perfect, giant open road, just waiting to take them anywhere. Those early boats were wild and, honestly, incredibly dangerous. Sailors literally had to pack goods by hand into heavy wooden barrels and these weird, lopsided sacks. Nothing fit together. Rough waves would just toss all that loose cargo around, completely smashing whatever was inside. It took endless, backbreaking weeks just to load a single ship. Then, this clever truck driver is watching these guys load a ship one day. He sees them wasting so much time physically moving every single item. So he dreams up this incredibly basic idea. A big metal rectangle. Every box is the exact same size, so you skip the whole unpacking step entirely. And that one simple idea pretty much changed the whole world. Ships had to completely flatten out their decks just to stack these giant metal boxes as high as skyscrapers. They locked together so neatly, letting huge cranes just grab them out of the sky in seconds. It took weeks of intense manual loading and turned it into just hours. Because this standard box made moving things so amazingly cheap, everything shifted. Suddenly, factories could build toys half a world away, and distance just wasn't a problem anymore. Moving a single shirt across the entire ocean costs just a penny now. That's the real secret to why we can buy things so cheaply today. To handle all those boxes, modern ships grew to truly giant sizes. Welders spend months in these massive yards, working with special steel just to build them. A single ship holds thousands of these boxes, stretching out longer than 4 football fields. It literally floats like a moving steel island, carrying a massive engine the size of a house. Burning all that thick fuel, the spinning propellers push these heavy giants into open oceans that can turn vicious in a heartbeat. They face massive storms, towering walls of water, and winds so fierce they can tilt the whole ship. Even with special locks, sometimes those heavy metal boxes just plunge right overboard, sinking down into the dark. It's not just dry goods out there on the water either. To carry fresh stuff like bananas and meat across the globe, engineers created these special freezing containers. They plug right into the ship to keep a cold motor running constantly. It's almost like a portable winter, turning the entire ship into a giant floating grocery store. Moving all this around the planet is incredibly tricky, though. Captains have to constantly watch glowing computer maps to steer clear of hidden, shallow rocks and dangerous sea ice. Sailing all the way around solid continents would add months to the journey, so humans had to get a little creative. To save those thousands of miles, builders essentially just dug giant ditches. Take the Suez Canal. It's this crazy, busy water highway that slices a perfectly straight path directly through hot, dry desert sand. Then you have the Panama Canal, cutting right through thick jungle to beautifully connect 2 giant oceans. Ships float into these narrow lanes, and the water acts exactly like a massive elevator, safely lifting these super heavy ships completely up and over the mountains. When one of these giant ships accidentally gets stuck and blocks a canal, the entire world suffers a slow, painful delay until the vessels finally reach their stops. And those stops, they're basically just giant parking lots sitting right on the water's edge, waiting for the ships to tie up. These brightly glowing ports pretty much never sleep. Fast scanners read special painted numbers on every single box, talking directly to the computers. They tell operators sitting high up in glass-floored robot cranes exactly where to safely drop them, straight onto waiting trucks or massive trains hauling 50 boxes at a time. Once those trucks hit the highway, the goods finally arrive at massive warehouses. Think of these as endless indoor sorting rooms. Workers pop open the big metal doors, pull out the smaller cardboard boxes inside, and get everything ready before a delivery van brings those cool new shoes right to your front door. But we can't forget, real, breathing humans run this giant moving web. Sailors live for lonely months at sea in cramped little sleeping rooms. They deal with terrible internet signals, miss their families dearly, and even have to practice hiding in safe steel rooms from pirates trying to climb the sharp protective wire. Plus, burning all that thick fuel does a lot of harm to our blue planet with dirty air. So engineers are testing out massive new batteries and these amazing giant flying kite sails. The wind literally pulls the heavy ship along, saving fuel and cleaning the sky at the exact same time. Beyond just standard boxes, double-walled tankers haul messy, thick oil and chemicals just to stop bad spills. Bulk carriers use huge metal scoops to dump mountains of tiny grain for farm animals. And when those ships finally get too old and rusty, workers carefully take them apart, melting the steel down to build the cars we drive. So here's the crucial thing. This entire global network acts like a silent magic trick. Tracked from space satellites as little glowing dots, we rarely see the hard work. But without this web, neighborhoods run out of supplies. Factories can't share wheels or glass, and hospitals wouldn't get the life-saving medicine and bandages they desperately need. A really bizarre problem pops up when countries buy way more things than they sell back, though. Empty metal boxes just pile up at the port. It wastes an absolute fortune shipping useless, empty air back across the ocean. So fast computers have to constantly predict what people will buy next just to route the empty boxes to busy factories. The wildest part is that this daily trade actually connects angry enemies. Countries that argue all the time still need to trade daily goods, and business just forces everyone to talk nicely. It really helps keep the whole world surprisingly peaceful. But man, the whole system is incredibly fragile. A single storm can break the chain, stopping factories dead in their tracks waiting on parts. Widespread sickness can cause massive panic buying that utterly chokes the ports with boxes, driving up prices for everyone and teaching us we probably need to keep backup parts a lot closer to home. Future cargo ships being tested right now might actually drive themselves. Steering computers will navigate the deep, dark ocean, saving money by skipping those warm sleeping rooms so they can carry even more weight. Though, we'll definitely miss the human captains out there. This quiet hero, a simple metal box, completely shrank our massive planet. It turned distant countries into actual neighbors, so we could share our absolute best skills. It's pretty wild to think about what a truly shared world looks like. If you liked exploring this with me, hit that like button, share this with a friend, and definitely subscribe for more. And let me know your thoughts down in the comments.